let's get into it. Hi everyone. Oh, I haven't got my captions on. Give me one sec. How's it going? How's everyone's week been? Hi Paladin. Hi Ali Boba World. Hi Maximum Tax. Banana Chip. Aqua. How's it going? How's everyone? If you're new here, I'm Sean Sunday and I write comics. I also draw comics and sometimes I make stuff for gaming. So it's a pretty fun time around here. And tonight we're going to write some comics. Alright, let me... Yeah, there we go. Move that to where I want. Alright, so... What's everybody's favorite comic book character? Oops, wrong one. There we go. Ah, cup of tea. Hello there. I can't read your name, but hi and welcome for joining the live. Let me give you a little wave there. Alright, so, yeah, it's been a big week, been a good week here in Brainbee Studios. Let me find the sketch cards that we did last night. Okay, where's last night's sketch card? Here we go. So last night we drew Storm Shadow at the request of one of my viewers. Tonight we're going to be writing a comic book, but at the end of the stream we'll finish up with a sketch card. So if you have any suggestions for characters that you want to see me draw at the end of the stream, drop them in the chat. Alright, let's go ahead and jump over to that screen.
Right, let's do this!
So, I'm absolutely stoked to have, oh, I've put it somewhere strange, hang on. There we go. Really stoked to have fixed up some settings and everything. My camera looks the way I want it to look on the here now. Oh, okay, yeah, interesting. So these are the sketch cards that we'll be drawing. These are some unfinished ones from previous streams. Just playing with settings while we chat. I've been upgrading things a bit for the lives this week. But we're not going to need that camera just yet because we are going to do some writing tonight. There we go. All right. I'll move all my social stuff down there. Nope, that's not the one that's being shared. That one is. There we go. Awesome. All right. So if you got any questions about comics while we're writing, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Hi, Christian. Who's your favorite comic book character? Hi, KL. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for following. Hi, Archie. Who are your favorite comic book characters or cartoon characters, folks? Alright, so we're just going to put the title in here. I haven't actually named this comic yet, so you guys are here for just the right occasion. Hi, Charlie! I haven't actually given this particular comic an official name. It's going to be the first full issue length story about Snuffles the Indomitable. Hi, Nika. Just finish off that cup of tea. Hi, Haley Bell. Okay. I'll fiddle with all of that some more later, actually. Okay. Hi, not V4L. Snuffles the Indomitable. What? What is going to be the name for this one shot? It's almost an origin story, but it's sort of a prequel to the origin story. You know what I mean? So it's going to be really interesting.
Watch out for Shredder!
Whoops. What did I just do?
Right, let's do this!
I accidentally clicked a button that I didn't need to click. Alright. So, yeah, it's not exactly the origin story. It's kind of before the origin story. It's the introduction to the world. So, Snuffles the Indomitable, the hero version, is barely in it for a full page before we get the before the hero version of him. So, I wonder what I should call it. If anyone's got any ideas, drop them in the chat. For now, we'll call it that. Snuffles the Indomitable, before the beginning. Yes, okay, yes, Asiya is the name I gave to that character. Good, good, good. Alright. So, I'm using a comic book script template to write my script. Let me just resize this a little bit so you folks can see what I'm writing a bit easier. See the whole page. There we go. So I'm using a script template by Steens and Cat Calamia. So everything is color-coded, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and format this the way that I like. I've been finding just a handful of things that I prefer to be set up a certain way lately. like the dialogue to always be blue. Hi, Em. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're writing comics. Who's your favorite character? So what I'm doing right now is I'm just reformatting the script template that I use a little bit, because I've discovered in writing my last script that I prefer all the dialogue to be blue at the start all the time, so I can immediately recognize it in a hurry, and I'm not messing with my format. Hi Jazzy Star, hi S, hi Mina, welcome, welcome. Who's your favorite comics or cartoon character? Hi Gregory. Hello, Cat Prayer Hands. Not sure how that one's supposed to be read, but... Hi, Jack Bow. Who's your favorite comics or cartoon character? We're just reformatting this script a little bit before we dive into it. Hi, Jamie. Who's your favorite comics character? So for folks that watch lives on TikTok, you know, hi Scraper Scraper. Do you prefer to be able to see more of what the person you're watching is working on, the way that I've got it set up here? Or would you prefer to have like more camera and just have me tell you what I'm doing? Hi, cool boys. So 6ix9ine. Hi, Lukey Pookie. There we go, all set up. Cool. Hi, Livy Sims. So I'm really excited about this book. Hi, your fave short guy. Welcome back. I'm really excited about this one. This is the prequel that I'm working on with my buddy Lewis. He's doing the art. I'm doing the writing. Hi, Saria. So it's nice to hang out with you folks while I write. So if you've got any questions about the book, just about comics writing in general, or you just want Excuse me, you just want to talk about your favorite comic book character? Drop some messages in the chat and let's talk. Hi, Queen! Hi, Cocoa Beans Return. Goodness me. Okay. So I've decided I don't want to make this. Actually, yeah, I will make this that because then Adam's print could be used as the cover, maybe. All right. Hi, B4AU. Hi, Andy. Hi, Ben. How's it going? Who's your favorite comic book character? Thanks for liking the live. I appreciate that a lot. Hi, Skull. Hi, Bob Traker Lakey. Hi, Tokakaya. Hi, Melody12. Oh, man, I am sore today. All right. Hi, Chaffnaff Bear 4. Hi, Bill Cypher's left ass cheek. Hi Froggy, hi Nat, hi Laura, hi Ellie O'Brien. How's it going? Who's your favorite character? So we're writing comic books tonight is what we're doing on stream. And towards the end of the stream, we will probably do a sketch card like we usually do. Hi Ref. Hi 11. I can't quite read that from here. Oh, hello there. Whose name? Hang on, let me see the name. Oh, the Dank Oreo. Yeah, hello, hi. I couldn't quite read it on my screen properly. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I remember. Right, yep, I've put two and two together now. I was like, I know that name. Where have I seen the name? In the Discord. Hi, Rosaria Everingham. Hi, Dragon Devil 9. How's it going, Dank Oreo? Hi, James on KBM. Hi, Nappy the Goober. Hi, Bay. Hi, King Cody. Hi, Liam X29 Grover. How's it going? Who's your favorite character? Hi, Dang Benny. Hi, Cooper. Hi, Jaren. Hi, Arby Edits. Hi, Skullwith. Hi, Dat Fish Guy Kai. Hi, Tazzy Gamer. Hi, Evie. How's it going? Who's your favorite character? Hey, Bella. Hi, Lena Spam. Hi, Compy. Hi, Anime Lover. How's it going? Hi, it's Zenny. How's it going? So, I'm not going to read that name out, but hello. We are writing a prequel issue of my comic Snuffles the Indomitable. So right now I'm writing the establishing shot, which is as you can see on the page, it's a wide shot of the valley. There's a forest. We can see a small group around the campfire, sort of in the distance. And then as it gets a bit more close, we can see the group is lit by the fire, and there's a central figure telling a story with a little pug sleeping by his feet. Hi, Rahela. Hi, someone, bunch of numbers. Hi, Serena. Hi, HXH. Okay. Hi, Kayla. Hi, Random. How's it going? Alright, I'm going to try this panel for a bit and see how people like it. Hi, D. How's it going? What's news? Hi, Jeremy. How's it going? Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Hey, Bella. How's it going? I'm good. I'm good. I'm mostly free of that paperwork from last week, which is good. Let's move this a bit more. Let's see. I still haven't found exactly the position I want for my camera. It's kind of annoying. How are you? How's your week been? Someone just joined, but I missed the name. Hi, how's it going? Alright, so we're writing comics tonight, so we're just hanging out and chatting while I write comics. So if anyone's got questions about comics, drop them in the chat and let's talk. I'm just sort of switching between the close-up screen and the screen that shows the script in progress at the moment. To see what people prefer, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. Hi, Noel. Hi, X Cartwright. How's it going? Excuse me. Hi, Noel. Hi, Black Roses. Hi, Teehee, friend Teehee. How's it going? All right. Hi, Badum, Bottom, Budem. Hello. Hi. Hi, Blaine. Hello, welcome to the stream. White circle profile picture. Hi, you girly. Hi, Boyden the Grumpy. The Gumpy. So we're writing comics while we chat. But yeah, if you'd prefer to be able to see the script while I'm working on it, let me know. I can switch screens. And in the meantime, just ask me any questions you might have about comics or tell me about your favorite character. And I didn't set a live goal for tonight, I don't think. Oh no, there it is. Yep. A tiny diny. So if y'all can get me help me get to a tiny diny tonight, that'd be great. You know, I'm going to switch back to the main screen. It feels weird not having the script up.
Right, let's do this!
Hi, the Plagueis Theory. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I forgot to update. I keep forgetting to update my stream category. Hi, Capybara. Oh, aren't you in time? I'm writing a comic in which there are robot capybaras that people ride instead of horses. Hi, Donut Brokey. Hi, Cooper Spam. Hi, Hans Left Toenails 143. Hmm. Hi, Bernie McKenzie. Hi, Cocoa Beans Return. Hi, Muffins. Hi, B4AU. Hi, Alish. Tell me about your favorite comic book characters. Hey, PS2 Fat Boy. How's it going? How's it going, bud? Hi, Drunk Sig Stimboard? Or Drunk Sig's Timboard? Either way, hello. Whoa, hey, hang on. Hey! Thanks, PS2 Fat Boy. Thank you for the tiny diny. What are you up to tonight, buddy? You going live tonight? Or have you already been live? Alright. Well, that means we've hit Tiny Diny twice in the last 2 weeks worth of streams. I took a week off. So that's rad, thank you. Hey, Quoto, that dumbass. They had it. Hey, Gabriel Ultra Kill. Hi, Alicia girl. Hey, no worries. Welcome to the live. How's it going? Hmm. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's good to be back live after taking a week off last week. Last night we did a sketch card like usual, and tonight we're writing some comics. So it's good. Things are good. Yeah, this one is it's in release order a sequel, but in chronological order a prequel to the comic that I'm just about to release. And this is going to be the next one after that. But I'm working on the script now so that the artist can get started on it ASAP. So it should come out early next year, I would say. Maybe by Christmas. The other one will be out next month, but this one should be out maybe by Christmas at the earliest, but probably February-ish at a guess. So next month, the one that I did on Kickstarter last year is coming out. We're just about ready to go to print, and it's 2 short stories. One short story is horror comedy in Brisbane, and the other short story is an introduction to the main character for this comic that we're writing right now. Just a short little fun adventure that's a few pages long just to get people excited about this new character. And so then the next story to come out is going to be this one, which is... It's a prequel to the origin story, I guess. The origin story will happen in the ongoing webcomic that I'm developing. But this is a prequel to that. Sort of thing. Best way I can describe it? Hey, thanks for following. Here, let me pull up Clip Studio and I'll show you what the main character looks like. This is a work in progress sticker of the main character that I'm working on right now. It's gone through a couple of iterations. This was the first pencil sketch for this sticker. Then I did this version. Then I messed around with the liquify tool to get the proportions closer to how I drew him in the comic. And then I'm using... I'm messing around with it now to get it closer to how I want it to be. But... where is it? Here we go. Here's his design sheet. And then this is a Akira Toriyama homage of him that I did. This is the main character. This is Snuffles the Indomitable. This is fan art that one of my buddies did. This is an Incredible Hulk homage that I did of how he became Snuffles the Indomitable instead of just Snuffles. And this is a rad print of Snuffles and his little sister Wiggles, who I'm writing about. This is basically the opening scene to this comic. Except this is just them traveling by themselves, whereas the opening scene for this comic has them traveling with a group. Let's see if I can find a good preview. Thank you. Yeah, it's a really fun story. This one, like, I can't wait to write the full book. We got some of this kind of thing going inside the actual comic, the one that's about to come out. Yeah, well, thank you. I hope you enjoy it when it does. The first story coming out, the one that's about to come out, it's going to be in both physical and digital. Digital, it'll be available on Global Comics, Comics.one, and Drive-Thru Comics. Physical, it will be available on my Etsy store to start with. Once it's ready to start hitting up stores, I'm going to start trying to reach out to comic stores and getting it on shelves. But, you know, I probably won't get it on shelves outside of Australia at this point. But we'll see. We'll see. And then, yeah, the next issue... Hang on, what did that say? Depends, Anthony. What do you mean by the sound is weird on TikTok? It is possible that it's bad for just you on TikTok. But it's also possible that it's not. So describe the problem for me and I'll see what I can do. Hi, I'm insane. Hi. Interesting. Okay. So the music's probably just up too loud. No worries, Gabriel. I may or may not be gone when you come back later, but I will be back on again tomorrow. Yeah, interesting. Try it on TikTok now, Anthony. I have just like changed some stuff. No worries. See ya. Nobody else has commented on it, but I was messing around with the music volume compared to my microphone volume last night, so it could be that. But I've just dropped the music volume a little bit. Yeah. There he is. Yep. So, I don't know how it sounds to you now, Anthony, but I'm doing the thing. Tickety-tockety. The right and don't stoppity. Hi, MA24. Hi, Lost Samurai 3456. I wonder what it is about TikTok that's making it sound tinny. Because I'm using the exact same microphone and the exact same audio setup from Twitch to TikTok. So, interesting. Hi, Jacana Naders. Jacana? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I will ask some of my other TikTok streamer friends to help me figure that out. Hi, Bella. Welcome back. Hi, Midnight Foxy. Yeah, definitely. If I'll see, like when other people that I know some stuff about streaming are on my TikTok chat, I'll ask them if they're getting the same sort of audio quality so I can troubleshoot a bit. Interesting. Hi, stranger. Hi, Hillary. Let's try bringing this over here a bit more again and see if I can get what I'm after out of it. Yeah, that'll do. That's a bit better. All right, that'll do. I'm going to stop futzing with it for now. Hi, AJ is marking it. Hi, Valentina. How's it going? All right, we're almost back from the ad break, and then I got to ask Anthony some stuff. All right, TikTok land, TikTok viewers, how's it going? What's news? Who's your favorite character? Hi, Syra. Is it Syra Hassan? Hello. How's it going? Who's your favorite character? Anthony, you back? Hi, Mox Q. Hey, don't start with me. Don't get back on your bullshit with me, buddy. How does this this bit with the translation and stuff in the caption for panel 2 there, how does that read to you? Is that working? Should I reformat that somehow? So the goal is to have the English translation inside the little symbols in the word bubble, have the caption say asterisk translated from pug, and to have the actual barking sounds in the SFX. So does that panel breakdown communicate that correctly? Hi Ava, welcome, welcome. Brysuposaurus? Now that's a name I haven't seen on my screen for a little while. How's it going, Mr. Supersaurus, if you can hear me? If that is in fact your real name? I hope you and the rest of the Saurus family are doing well. Yeah, cool. Well, I will... Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I'll put that at the start of the script. And I'll probably, chat to Lewis about it as well. Hi, it's your girl Nevea. Hi, Adventures with Lola. Hi, Buffers. Alright. So what are you drawing today, Anthony? Hi, Ashley? What you practicing? Hi, little spider. Yeah, nice. Fun. Hmm. Hi, Yo-Yo Moyo. Yo-Yo Molo? Yo-Yo Moyo. I think that's an I. Hi, Diego Yang. How's it going? Hi, Hannah. Hi, Nicole Tinkler. Send me some previews when you finish something that you're happy with, Anthony. As always. Speaking of Anthony and things I like to see Anthony draw, have you seen the new Ultraman look? I don't know if I like it. Oh, shoot. What was it called? It's not the first time there's been one with this type of look, apparently. But I just am not a huge fan of this new one. Ultraman Omega. It's got a lot more red on its face and on its costume, and its face is almost entirely red except for the bottom lip to about this part of the chin and a couple of stripes in the ears. It just feels like too much red for me. There's two others that are shown with it from previous Ultraman incarnations, and Z Beta Smash with a red mask on its face I like, because there's a really nice balance between the red and the silver. Zerth I don't like as much either, but it does still have more silver than this one, I think. I'm not really sure about it. Here, let me link you something. It's not bad. It just... I don't know if it's my taste, you know? I just got a real soft spot for the ones with mostly silver faces. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Like the bottom left one in that picture I sent you, I like that. That one was rad. But I'm not sure about the other one. Hi, Caden. Hi, Chill Kid. Hi, Sam Vinavong. Hey, Anthony, what is your favorite genre to draw? Like, if I eventually have the money to write something specifically with you in mind, what genre would you want it to be? Yeah, it is. It really is. Such a very specific look. Hi, Pilau Fishcat. That's true. That's true. Well, currently, what kind of stories are you enjoying? Like, would you prefer to draw horror, um, sci-fi, something really silly? I'm always thinking ahead. Yeah, that's fair. I totally get that. I totally get that. Yeah, that's fair. All right. All right. I'm getting a feel for you. I mean, realistically, I just want to write a Snuffles story and pay you to draw it because I love the way you draw Snuffles. Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, I definitely would love to write a Snuffles one shot specifically with you in mind. Something with some real big damn hero moments. Hi, Red Velvet's #1 fan. Hi, Sienna Burner. Hi, Macabre Bags. Hi, Ray. Excuse me. Goodness. How long have we been live for? Oh, hour and a half. Oh, gosh. I guess I won't be doing a drawing tonight, because I'm only supposed to be going for an hour and a half tonight. So I'm just going to finish up this page, and then we'll probably wrap up for tonight. As usual, when I do wrap up, I'll say goodnight to TikTok first, and then hang out with Twitch for a couple of minutes so we can do a raid. But TikTok, get ready, because tomorrow night we'll be doing my projects, but we might warm up with a sketch card. And then Friday night we'll be doing all sketch cards for the whole night. It's starting with this week's chaotic draw along prompt, whatever prompt that is. Let me have a look and see if I can figure out what the prompt is for this week. Corn Dog Bandit. Okay. Corn Dog Bandit is the main prompt. Then there's a bunch of alternate prompts. And I think my favorite of the alternate prompts is Wrong Mermaid. But we'll have a look. We'll have a look through that on Friday, and we'll decide which one we're going to do. Hi, Calvin. Hi, Raph. Hi, Sharky Shiny. Hi, Alexis. Oh, that's a good question, Raph. I got a lot of favorites. I've honestly got a lot of favorites, but probably one of the ones that I'm most excited about right now is The Sixth Gun. The original series has been out for quite a few years. It's really good. But there's a new sequel series. Well, actually, I think it's technically a prequel series. Just about to come out, and I've seen some of the preview art for it and stuff that they've been putting out on social media, and it looks incredible. So the original Sixth Gun comic is like a weird supernatural western, and this one I think is the origin story of the magic weapons that exist in the world or something like that. But it looks really rad, and I can't wait to read it. So that's probably the comic I'm most excited about right now. favorites. I've got a lot, but I'd say that Crowded by Chris Sabella, Cardinal Ray, Trina Farrell, Rose Stein, and Ted Brandt is one of my all-time favorites. I will always love that book, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend that people check it out. And I did an episode about it on my podcast, which is called No Capes. It's at No Capes Show on YouTube. Okay, that's that page done. Ends on quite a sad note, but it's done. Okay. All right. Oh, goodness me. Keep messing around with my camera. There we go. All right. All right. So that is me for tonight. It's been an hour and a half. Tomorrow night, hi Evan Standing for, hi official. Tomorrow night we're going to be working on some digital drawing projects. So we'll be working on some sticker designs. I'm going to try to finalize those and get them wrapped up and squared away for my Kickstarter. And then once those are done, we're going to start doing some traditional media commission work. So I'll be busting this bad boy out, and this is homework, but we'll be putting the Bristol pad on here and setting up on the desk here, and I'll change my camera angle with my you can't see it, but just here is my table cam. Yeah, and we'll start doing some physical commissions. I'm really excited about doing those, but first I have to smash out those stickers. I've got to get those stickers done, and then I can jump onto the commissions. So, really excited about that. So for now, TikTok, I'll say goodnight to you, and I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, 9 p.m. See you there. Okay, Twitch. Now it's time for us to find someone to raid. So let's have a look and see who's online. Oh, the Lyrical. That's who we're going to raid. All right, let's go. /raid the_Lyrical. And here's our raid message coming into the chat. So go ahead and copy and paste that for the raid. And let's go raiding. I'll see you all tomorrow night.